Hi, hello. I wanted to talk about something that I find very important to keep in mind when you're currently going through a phase in life where you just can't envision that things can get better. I think what's very painful about a phase like that is not just the fact that you can't see that things can get better, but you can't envision how. And I think that's especially important for someone that maybe is already very self-aware. Like you're already very self-aware and you already have an idea of what to do. Like, maybe you're watching all the advice that is out there, you're reading all the advice that's out there, like you are actively trying to improve your circumstance, you're actively trying to improve everything that you're not happy with in life, and you still feel like you're not getting better. It can very much feel like even more out of, like you will feel even more out of control because now you tried to tackle it, now you try to take control of it, and it still feels like everything is slipping through your fingers. If you resonate with that, I want you to know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong, and it doesn't mean that you're not doing enough. Studies have shown that if you push through whatever it is that you're going through, if you continue to try to do things that used to bring you joy, even though right now they're not, if you try to push through that, if you continue to take care of your relationships, of your friendships, of everything that's important to you, even though you feel like you don't have the energy to do it, it will aid in making you feel better. So on one hand, this is truly about patience. This is truly about trying to see it through and just continuing to keep going. But on the other hand as well, I think what it does, it's not just about consistently being in this low state and just hoping to eventually emerge out the other side and experiencing a new state. Because I think that gap is what makes it feel painful. Like, yeah, of course, we can push ourselves through whatever it is that we're going through, but it doesn't immediately heal that pain. But I think it's important to keep in mind that when you push through, when you continue to keep moving, even though you don't feel like moving, you are still actively enriching your life. You are still dedicating your energy and your time to your life, even though it doesn't feel like it, even though you don't feel good about it. I think a lot of this whole process is basically about not giving all of the power that you have to your emotion. It might not help in immediately making you feel better, but it is helping to continue to actively partake in your life. It is helping you to not lose everything that you have already built while you don't feel good about yourself. Because once you do come out the other side, and I know that you will want to look at your life still intact. Like, I'm not trying to minimize it. I know how bad things can get. And a lot of it, I'm telling you, is about continuing to function as best as you can. Not in a productive way, not in a I'm gonna be a robot or a zombie. I'm talking about, you still know on a level that is maybe right now removed from your emotion, but on some sort of level what is important to your life. You know the relationships that you have with people, you know the friendships that you have, you know the passions that you have, you know what it is that enriches your life, you know what it is. And it's important to hold on to that knowing regardless of those temporary phases that will fade again. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are in this incredibly low state and you push through, it's not just for you to come out the other side and feel better. It is for you to keep building the life that is for you, that you deserve, despite this thing that has now come over you, despite this gray cloud that is now hovering over you. You still deserve to have a good, full life. It might not give you the same sense of gratification right this instance, but I'm telling you, this phase that you're going through is also not worth destroying everything that you've built so far. And I'm absolutely not saying this to guilt trip you. I'm not saying this to put any more pressure on you. I'm saying this out of pure love. I'm saying this out of pure hope that you continue to advocate for yourself, advocate for your life. That's kind of how I see it. I've made this comparison in a different video, but if you had a child and you were absolutely in the trenches, right, and you just don't feel good about anything, you are feeling at a very low point. Of course there's a lot of factors that go into it, but you have this responsibility towards your child to continue providing the life that is secure for them, that is safe for them, that is loving for them through the actions, no matter how you feel, but it is giving them a safe haven no matter what is going on otherwise. And this should go for you as well. Like, this body was given to you, this life was given to you. And I know sometimes you might think, well, I didn't ask for it. Like, maybe I just simply didn't ask for it. And it's really hard to imagine that there's some part of me that maybe chose to be here. Like, it's very hard to imagine that I wanted to be here. But if you think of it like that, because this is where you're at right now, no matter what your belief is, this is where you're at right now. You have been given this body and this life, and then you've continued to build something on it. And no matter how negatively you might look onto your life right now, I know that if you would tell me things that you've done with your life, there would be more things that I can count that you could and should be proud of. So this is about protection. This is about protecting the life that you have, the life that has been given to you, and the life that you're actively cultivating as well. And even if you think right now, well, I'm not really proud of the things that I've done so far, that's your state right now talking. That is your state right now talking. That is the story that you have in your head built upon those negative emotions that you're perceiving right now. This is not the reality. I can assure you, if you would tell me, and if you want to actually, please feel free to share in the comments. I know that if you would tell me the things that you've done in your life, the things that you've done for other people, the things that you've done for yourself, I know that there's more things that I can count that you should and could be proud of. Also, by the way, I'm sorry, it's starting to rain and I hope it's not bothering you too much. So on one hand, it's about protecting your life, continuing to protect your life no matter how you feel. Right here, right now, not just to wait for a better day sometime in the future, but to actively show up for yourself and continue to build your life, continue to build your life towards the future, and continue to protect what you've already built. But aside from that, what I think is so important, and I notice this every time, life is always moving. I don't know how many times I've said this in my video, but I think it's such an important thing to keep in mind. Life is never static. No matter how stuck you feel, life itself is always moving, right? Like, life is not only moving, we know that the universe is expanding. Like, we always grow and we always get bigger and we move. And the fact that you're willing to move and like enter into life's rhythm, it kind of makes you match up with your environment. I don't know how to say it, but I can feel the truth in that. It's like, if you stop to participate in life, even though you really can't because you're alive, so like your energy, your yourself, you're always continuing on this timeline that we experience, right? But the more you actively create, you actively co-create, you actively partake in your life, the more you enter in life's rhythm itself, because life is constantly creating, life is constantly expanding, right? So I think automatically when we start to like partake in that, we start to match like life's rhythm more, and we start to feel like we're part of the world more, because it can be so easy to isolate yourself, right? It can be so easy to, like, once you hit that low point, to be like, okay, I'm just gonna be over here, and then life goes on kind of outside of me, right? It kind of, that's how it feels sometimes, right? It's kind of like you're over here and kind of things feel like they have paused for you and life is just going on. But it's never, that's an illusion. Like, as long as you're alive, you're already part of that constantly moving life's energy, that constant moving energy of life is what I tried to say. You are part of that. Like, no matter what it feels like, it's an illusion to feel like it's outside of you. You are actively always part of that, but you can kind of decide how much you want to do with that energy, like how much you want to be a co-creator in that, and how much you want to kind of just lean back and let things happen to you, so to speak. And I think the more you partake in life in that way, and you actively move no matter how you feel, the more you obviously also increase the chance of like just random encounters, random opportunities, like random like things that might happen that might completely shift your perspective. Like, the more you kind of, so to, I don't know, I want to say randomize, but like the more you kind of, well, yeah, kind of randomize your day, and like the more you kind of just do new things or things that you just love but you continue to do them, the more you increase the chances of like new connections happening, or old connections strengthening, or like something showing up for you that you would have never, that might have never showed up for you if you would have just stayed in your corner, like in your room, isolated from everything else. So if you just keep going, if you just keep moving, it's not just about escaping state A to arrive at state B. everything that you're doing matters, no matter what it feels like right now, no matter how much it feels futile, no matter how much it feels like it's for nothing. I promise you, with my entire being, it's not for nothing. It will work out in your favor. It will work out in your favor. And that's why sometimes it's just enough to keep moving, right? You don't have to sit down and like think about your state all the time. You don't have to like intellectualize your pain. You don't have to just sit there and even just listen to like hours and hours and hours of advice. If it helps you, of course. But sometimes the sheer act of kind of the insistence of partaking in life in an active way, of like the refusal to isolate yourself as if you deserve less now just because you feel low. If you refuse to bow down to what is going on with you right now, no matter how bad it feels, and I trust you that it feels horrible, I trust you that it feels incredibly painful, I trust you that it can feel very unbearable. If you continue to move through it, life will work out in your favor. And no matter how alone and how isolated you feel, life is not happening outside of you. You are still part of everyone's life. You are still part of the energy that is currently moving through Earth. You are an active part of that. Always. You're never alone. You're never alone in what you're going through. You're never alone in how you feel. I promise you that. Even if you feel like, no, I'm so angry, like I don't even want to go through this in the first place. Use your anger, like then hold a grudge against like what life has been giving you and move through that. Use your anger to move through that, like out of spite even. Like no matter what it is, you can use even what you're feeling to fuel your movement. But just keep moving. Just keep going. No matter how futile it feels, it won't be. I said this from the beginning that my goal is to build a community where people feel less alone about what they're going through, and that life is not always this curated, perfect portrayal that we're trying to show outwardly. Like, you know, life can be very messy, life can be very hard, and sometimes it can simply feel like we're doing everything right and still nothing is going right. And it's hard to trust the flow of life if you're just in your brain alone with that. And so I want to create a space where you feel less alone with that and you can trust that it truly is worth something to keep going. So please take very, very good care of yourself. I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.